When I was about 6 or 7, I used to save up my pocket money and go to WH Smith's at the weekend and buy maths textbooks. So it's a little bit of a sign there. Yeah, and I've always loved maths my whole life.
But for the benefit of both of you, really, for the benefit of our listeners who are, I think it's fair to say, by any definition, quite geeky, can you explain what your research and specialism was?
So what I looked at was sort of a measure of software called the ripple effect. Right, so you know what the ripple effect is in general.
Yeah.
You know, say if you throw a stone into a pond, it ripples across the pond.
Sure.
So you make a change to something and that affects the stuff around it. So in terms of software, ripple effect, what I was looking at is if you make a change to a bit of software, what effect does that have on the rest of the software? That's it.
Interesting. Did you do anything on that, Roo?
No, it sounds exciting. I want to go back and do some more courses.
One question, perhaps slightly controversially, that I'd like to put to you, Sue, is where you stand on what I think is termed positive discrimination.
I think used sort of judiciously and wisely, then I think positive discrimination definitely has its place. Have you met Dame Wendy Hall? Well, you should get her in to do, she'd be really good. So I remember talking to her, and she thinks that the introduction of computers into schools with the sort of one PC in every classroom was the worst thing that could ever happen for girls and computing, because it was just one computer in each classroom.
Yeah.
So the boys being more bolshy got the computer.
Definitely happened in
And
this.
oh really? Yeah. So and the girls were pushed out, whereas before it was quite equal. Well, I suppose it wasn't equal, but in terms of gender, it would have been quite equal. That actually made, that was a bad thing to do, and that's awful, isn't it? Because you think it's a wonderful thing to do to put computers into schools. But and I do think confidence is an issue for women. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's nature or nurture, but I know from my generation growing up, I was taught to, along with most of the other girls as well, to speak when I was spoken to. The more we do, I think, at all different levels, all the way through schooling and sort of in society and just everywhere, even the information pioneers thing, it all counts towards helping women to feel more comfortable in that environment.